Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the South. More specifically, we're in Asheville, North Carolina, and even more specifically than that, we're in front of the Grove Park Inn. Now this is a historic hotel. It is on the national list of historic places, and it's very fascinating history. The creator, Edwin Grove, was famous for selling a chill tonic. It was kind of I don't want to say snake oil like product, but it was a tonic that was popular at the time. It claimed to have properties that could cure the symptoms of the common cold, as well as, I think they made a bunch of other claims, as they do with sort of these catch-all tonics. But he made his millions selling the Grove tonic, and used that to create the Grove Park Inn. And even an interesting fact about the Grove Park Inn: this was actually used as a prison for Nazis during World War II. They would not just rank and file soldiers, but like diplomats and high-ranking officials would be kept here, kind of in the lap of luxury, which is kind of funny. A war prisoner being treated so nicely, staying at a hotel that would cost you quite a pretty penny in modern times. But the reason I'm here is the tradition here. They have the National Gingerbread House competition, where the best gingerbread creators from around the country compete to see if their gingerbread house can be the very best. And the winner gets to appear on Good Morning America. So it's been kind of a tradition coming out here, checking out the gingerbread houses in the holiday season. So let's see what the Ginger Wizards have whipped up this year. So please, follow me. And I do appreciate the very unique construction here at the Grove Park Inn, a really beautiful building. So we are greeted by this massive Christmas tree. We head inside the Grove Park Inn. Oh, thank you. And as we enter the Grove Park, we can see their legendary massive fireplace here. All the guests love to gather around and warm themselves on that giant fireplace. Also in the lobby, we have this giant replica of the Grove Park Inn, where they sell cookies and hot chocolate. But the crazy thing is, I believe this is actually made out of gingerbread. And yeah, in closer examination, you can tell this is actually gingerbread. You can see it's been picked at. I guess people were curious to see if it was really gingerbread, so they picked it apart. You can clearly see that it's gingerbread. Looks like these candies right here, people have been plucking these candies out and presumably eating them. Looks like someone might have just taken a bite out of that one right there, just chomped it. So we step out onto the back porch here. So here from the back porch, you can actually see the skyline of the city of Asheville off there in the distance. We have Santa's toy shop out here, and I do love these classic animatronic elves. You used to see these in the windows of department stores. You can see him hammering there on that airplane. He's making a toy airplane for some good little boy or girl. And this elf here has got a fishing pole with a little car on the end of it. Oh, I think it's a bucket of paint. So he's dipping that car into the bucket of paint with a fishing pole. Just keep dunking it until it is completely red. Now Santa himself looks like he's passed out here next to the fire. Just a nice cozy fire. He's gonna take a nap. Let the elves handle all the hard work. This little guy here is taking a break from sawing this board in half. He's got the little table saw there. But one of the most curious features here in the lobby is that actually inside the fireplace here, inside this giant fireplace, there is an elevator built into the side of a fireplace. And yes, it is all hot and smoky in there. It does not look like it is currently in operation. So I won't be able to ride it, but I have gotten a chance to ride it in the past, and like I said, hot and smoky. The store Seasons has some Christmas stuff inside. You can see little Santa there getting a sack ready. And some pretty unique snow globes there. See the framed snow globe with the reindeer there, and then the snow globe shaped like a snowman standing on his head with all the snow flopping around inside of him. And all the different Santas there. Oh, what's Santa doing here? I guess he is holding up a mistletoe and forcing these two snow people to kiss while he watches. We have giant Santa here, and then apparently Santa's big into golf. I guess maybe that's what he does in the off season. Lots of different golfing Santas here. It's like that snowman is even made out of golf balls. And here's Santa Claus as a nutcracker wearing a chef hat. And it does look like this is the kind of nutcracker that can actually crack a nut there. Little hedgehogs wearing Santa Claus hats there. And oh, look at this. Chaos reigns. Here we have a blue version of Santa Claus. Oh, look at this collection of nutcrackers here. Really cool, actually. I think, oh, this one might be my favorite here. It's an Alice in Wonderland nutcracker, and you can see on top of his head you have all the characters from the Mad Tea Party and Alice in Wonderland on top of his head. Although I did just notice this one here. This one might take the cake. It's a Wizard of Oz nutcracker. You can see Toto there on the end of his staff, and then Dorothy and her friends up on his head. Oh, these are like bobblehead Christmas ornaments. You can make them bobble there. Little bobbly fox. Oh, look at these ornaments down here. No, not the bees, not the bees. Also like chunks of beehives here. And here we have a Grove Park Inn ornament, which is really cool, but man, that is big. I wonder if that would like weigh down the tree branch you hung it on. I love how uneven the rock work is here. You can see the rocks jutting out at all different angles there. Now we start with the Teenage Top 10. This is the Abraham Lincoln Memorial Train there. You can see it passing through, made entirely out of edible materials. And here is a Ratatouille themed gingerbread structure. So he's standing there on top of those books, just learning how to cook. There's a little bit of spaghetti there. This one's called Christmas at the Coop. It's actually a chicken coop. You can see all the hens and roosters there celebrating Christmas outside of their coop. This is the Ferry Tea House. See, it's actually a little ferry village. There's a ferry on the bridge there. There's a house made out of a teapot, and then all these other houses are made out of tea cups, actually turned on their side to turn them into a little home. A little gingerbread kitchen there. They're cooking up a Christmas dinner. You can see the flames coming off the turkey there. So they also work on a gingerbread house of their own, a little miniature gingerbread house. And down here we have a little elf drinking out of the dog bowl. Oh, this one's really cool. This is called Iceland's Christmas Trolls. So you can see there's some people there up on top. Circling the bottom, we have the Christmas Trolls. That one there has got a goat in a hat. Oh, that one's really scary there. It looks like a gnome wrapped in sausages. Look at all the different trolls are here to celebrate Christmas. Let's see, this gingerbread house set up like a theater where they're actually watching a play of the Nutcracker. See the Nutcracker there fighting one of the rats. I think that's the Rat King right there. You kind of see he has glowing red eyes. Yeah, definitely a lot of creativity here You see this is a Santa Claus's typewriter made out of gingerbread. They actually took all these tiny little pieces of gingerbread to make a typewriter there. Just pounding out a nice list. And then the mice are all inside the typewriter, causing mayhem. Little mouse down there with a peppermint. And the coffee cup says, "I love cheese." A candified Christmas tree here. Massive Christmas tree with all these peppermint discs. Oh, it looks like a big lump of cotton candy right there. Over here you can see there's a elf hiding in the tree. Yeah, look at that ice cream cone and cupcake there. And the garland is made out of lifesavers. You can see the gingerbread lady right there. Now we move into the top 10 adult gingerbread houses. This one got second place in the adult category. It's very intricate design there. It's almost crazy to think that's actually made out of gingerbread. Oh, this one's really cool and kind of an interesting theme too. You have Santa there hiding in a tree. And he's hiding in a tree because he's been attacked by bears. You can see the bears there have stolen his sack of presents, or ransacking the presents, little toys spilling out everywhere. You can see all the little detailed toys, how detailed they are. There's the cabin there with the elf on the roof. Santa hides from the bears, and those are very realistic looking trees. So like a little store here. This is Kringle and Co. You can see around the corner here, we can see in the window with the candy flamingos coming out of the cake there. Very colorful, this one. And then on top of the store, there's a landing pad. Santa land here where he can land his sleigh on top of the store. Here we have another fairy themed house. See almost a house made out of a broken flower pot there, stacked up into stairs like a little terrarium with the fairies hanging out. That lizard there looks realistic. This one's called An Hour Till Midnight. You can see the elves rushing to finish the gingerbread house. You can see the running around with different ingredients. We got this guy yelling at them, telling them to work faster. See that bullhorn? It's really interesting. Oh, this one's cool. I like the different colors there. The walls are red. You got the golden roof there. You got this Christmas tree here made out of candy canes. And then a polar bear, and a baby polar bear there coming out of the ice. That's very, very beautiful. And this says this is the National Museum of Gingerbread. If that was a real place, I would definitely check it out. Looks like it's kind of like a art museum there. Oh yeah, there's pictures of different gingerbread houses. So like a gingerbread art gallery here. Very interesting, like architectural shape as well. Oh wow, look at this. So this is called the Engine of America. It's kind of like a big tank when you look at it, but it's got different things sticking out of it. It's got Wrigley Field right there in the front, the White House above that. Then we have the Statue of Liberty. I believe that's the Chrysler building there. And then that must be the Seattle Space Needle there in the back there. See the Hollywood sign. I don't know what that big orb is. Maybe that's Epcot there. But look down there, you can see the Grove Park Inn built on the side here. This one is really amazing. Oh, I even see the welcome to Las Vegas sign over there. So this actually won the People's Choice Award. So the people voted on this one, but then the official gingerbread judges voted on a different one. I just really love this, how it incorporates the different American landmarks all together in this vehicle. Just super unique. I've never seen anything like that. This may be my favorite, although I'm looking forward to seeing which one was able to beat this one out. Heading into the President's Lounge, where it says there are more gingerbread houses. Here in the President's Lounge, we have this set of golf clubs and golf balls that were actually used by President Barack Obama. You can see the presidential seal there on the bag. So they have pictures of all the different presidents that have come to the Presidential Lounge. William Howard Taft has been here, Woodrow Wilson, Calvin Coolidge, and Herbert Hoover all been here. Not to mention Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. Looks like George W. and Ronald Reagan, and they decided they didn't want to come to the Presidential Lounge at the Grove Park Inn. Now we have entered the children's top 10. This one is paper dolls. See the doll there with all the different outfits that she could wear. Here we have Charlotte's Web. You can see the pig at Wilbur, I believe his name was, out there in front of the barn. And a little patch of garden right there next to the Charlotte's Web book. And I do like the candy Ferris wheel as well. Now this one's called Dragon Battle, but it does not look like there's an actual battle going on. Looks like the dragon is there baking or making Christmas cookies or something of the like. You can see this Christmas tree here wearing a top hat, maybe the magic hat that brought Frosty the Snowman to life. This one's called Santa's Library. You can see the big old Santa there with a marshmallow beard and hair. He's reading up on some books. He's reading a book on Peru. I guess he does have to be knowledgeable about what's going on all over the world as he delivers presents. This one is called Mrs. Claus's Fairies. See Mrs. Claus up there, surrounded by fairies. You see that fairy there riding a polar bear. So a lot of them are riding polar bears. This one here is riding a narwhal. So that's pretty unique. Oh, and a beluga whale riding fairy there. It does seem that fairies are a popular theme amongst the gingerbread houses, but each one has its own creativity. You know, where else can you see a fairy riding a narwhal? This one is called Octo-Claus. I guess envisioning Santa Claus, what he would be like, what he would look like if he was an octopus. And I think an octopus would make a great Santa. I think octopuses are remarkably smart and resourceful creatures. You probably wouldn't need a sleigh. You'd probably just use his suckers to climb down your chimney. So the little miniature octopuses, so kind of the king of octopuses there, Octo-Claus. I do love the dark sense of humor coming through on this one. You see the oven there, cooking gingerbread men. See these ones here, they've been blackened from being in the oven. You can actually see the flames coming out of the oven as the gingerbread man tries to escape. This is called Fantasy Friends Fun Village. And if you look, it's actually a village of all the different holidays, not just Christmas. You can see the Christmas tree in the middle, but then there's other holidays as well. You can see the Easter bunny there, standing next to a giant Easter egg. You can see the jack-o'-lantern right there, and then the tooth fairy there represented. And there's a unicorn over here as well. I'm not sure what holiday that is, but oh yeah, you can see the unicorn, or the rainbow coming out of the unicorn and in to this pot of gold, which has a leprechaun for St. Patrick's Day. And then on the other side of the tree, you can see the heart representing Valentine's Day. It's very creative. And, you know, there's only one main rule here at the Grove Park Inn, and that's don't sit in the chairs. Please do not sit in this chair. And here we have the grand prize winner of the 2022 National Gingerbread Competition, created by Ann Bailey. We have this whole gingerbread village. You see it's being displayed on a rotating platform so we can take in all the details. This appears to be a Peter Pan themed tableau there. You can see Mr. Shmee there. You can see Peter Pan rescuing Santa Claus, holding on to Santa Claus's hand up there. And down here you can see Captain Hook watching Peter Pan from the rooftops. You can see all the characters there rotating. Oh, is that Wendy there flying through the air? So definitely a quality gingerbread house. I think I would have voted for the one we saw earlier that showed all the different locations in America. I think that was my personal favorite. But you know, this is a great gingerbread house, a great gingerbread village. I definitely love how they incorporate the Peter Pan characters into the design. As I mentioned before, Edwin Grove, who created the Grove Park Inn, actually made his fortunes selling tonic. And here we have a little display on the medications that he would sell. You can see the bottles there with the chill tonic. So they actually would leave a bottle of the chill tonic in each room as a complimentary sample to all the guests at the Grove Park Inn. See the babies there on the packaging. But possibly the most iconic image is this. It says, makes children and adults as fat as pigs. Gross, tasteless chill tonic. I would think that that slogan wouldn't work as well in modern times. I don't know that people want to be as fat as pigs anymore. But yeah, it's also just plain ghoulish to have a baby's head on a pig body. Here's a salute to F. Scott Fitzgerald, the author of The Great Gatsby, who would stay at the Grove Park Inn in his day and actually have a rocking chair that would sit in his room. So who knows? F. Scott Fitzgerald may have sat in this chair, rocked a little bit, and thought to himself, I need to write a book about a super rich guy who's obsessed with a girl that has no interest in him, and then someday the poor carpetbagger would be forced to read this book in high school. Here they have a little exhibit on the Pink Lady, the famous ghost that lives here at the Grove Park Inn. So the Pink Lady, said to be a spirit of a woman who fell from the 5th floor balcony to her doom, and said that she's a nice spirit. She appears, the people that work here enjoy her presence, and apparently she's drawn to children. So a lot of children report seeing a very nice Pink Lady who is interested in them. In fact, it is actually, there's cases of people leaving the Pink Lady to babysit their children and later find out that they left their children to be babysat by a ghost. Also an ode to Houdini, who said he traveled and performed in Asheville in the 1920s. You can see the case there, chained up with shackles, presumably with Houdini inside. Here's the youth top 10. Now it's a little confusing, these categories. There's children's, teen, and youth. So I'm guessing youth is like, would that be tween? Would that like be between being a child and being a teen? But either way, some really cool gingerbread houses. Look at that, a gingerbread UFO from Area 51, parked amongst the Christmas trees. The aliens out, sharing presents and cookies outside of their UFO. And look at the snowman there, actually has an alien head. Here's the workbench of a sewing elf. You can see the clothing being made there by the sewing machine. Over here, this is the kitten's jewelry box. You see the little kitten there poking out from the jewels. This one is based on the Little Match Girl. If you look back there, you can see the Little Match Girl. Isn't the story that it's about a child that freezes to death, and that's the end of the story, if I'm remembering correctly? That's pretty dark. Here is Santa Yoda and his baby elves. So you see Yoda as Santa Claus surrounding this space gingerbread structure, and a row of little baby Yodas encircling the structure. Tree gingerbread house. You can see there's monkeys hanging out there, hanging from it, and it looks like they're gobbling down bananas. I bet those are banana runts, the most disgusting runt of them all. Here's a Harry Potter themed house. It says Hagrid's Cottage. You can see Hagrid right there. And what's that creature there? Is that his griffin? It's been so long since I've read the books. This is a gingerbread version of Prince Edward's Island. I've never been to Prince Edward's Island, but I hear that they have a Ripley's Believe It or Not there. A little bakery here where you can see the front door and then walk around, see the interior, and see that they're making a miniature gingerbread house inside. And as we come down the stairs, they have a bonus section of gingerbread houses from all the different age groups that didn't necessarily make the top 10. See the little boy fishing there. It's like that water, you can actually look in the water, looks like that's like pure sugar that's been hardened. And then down here, a Super Mario themed gingerbread sculpture. You can see Mario fighting Bowser to try to get to the princess. Looks like this gingerbread house here has a little glockenspiel in the front. We look back there, the gingerbread barn. Oh, more fairies there. We have a little watering can next to a flower. There's a ginger greenhouse. Oh, plants inside. It looks like the glass, again, made out of sugar. You see the coconut shavings there on the farm. And you can see this is the Ginger Ridge Parkway, takeoff of the Blue Ridge Parkway. We have scenic views of the leaves. All the leaves are different colored sprinkles there. I love the little dirty truck here on this farm. This one is like a forest library scene. All these books here in this log, and then you see a bear with a book over his face reading. All the little forest animals reading little books. There's a little spread left out for Santa, the cookies, the milk, and even a birthday cake celebrating the 30th anniversary of the gingerbread competition. Oh, this is cool. Love a good spooky gingerbread scene. You can see this is a witch's village. All the witches there. Witches doing fortunes there. And this building shaped like a witch hat. It's a gingerbread birch stump. This one there in the middle, you can see Joseph holding up newborn baby Jesus, who's been birthed directly out of Mary, and holding him aloft. I do like this little mid-century gingerbread house there. It's even got a little tiny shuffleboard court in the back. Here we have Mrs. Claus filming a cooking show in her kitchen. You can see all the production workers are reindeers holding the camera, holding the boom mic, so that she can cook and have it recorded for television. The gingerbread gas station there. There's another nativity style gingerbread house. It really is amazing how many different interpretations you can get of what a gingerbread house is supposed to look like. You can see it says welcome to Hawkins there. It's a Stranger Things inspired gingerbread house. You can see the mind flayer there in the backyard. And you can peek inside to the buyer's living room where that famous Christmas light alphabet is on display. See the gingerbread house there, a birch tree occupied by gnomes. See an undersea gingerbread house. You can see all the mermaids there, some form of sea serpent as well. Oh, this one's really interesting. It depicts Santa as a knight riding a reindeer, fighting off this giant fire-breathing dragon. It's a record player playing White Christmas. It's like a gramophone music box there. All the mice crawling around inside the musical paper. You can see some of the wreckage here, unfortunately, occurs at the competition. These houses have been here since November, so you know, over time they do give way and start to break apart. And unfortunately, some do completely collapse before the end of the season. You see the football stadium where the players are Sour Patch Kids and the audience is M&Ms. See the classic church right here, and then look behind there. There's this adorable little baby dragon made of gingerbread. This one is Santa Down Under. There's Santa Claus in front of the Sydney, Australia Opera House. There's the gingerbread Death Star, which is a big ball of gingerbread, and then the little gingerbread TIE fighters flying off of it. Another big Santa there, sitting on a toy box. This is the Inside Out tree. This actually won an award for Best Use of Color. You can see the different characters there from Inside Out. I think that's joy and sadness there, passed out on the couch. Or I guess just not passed out, but just laying there because she's super depressed. You can see the snowman there with his hot cocoa stand. Gingerbread beach house there where they are fishing and sailboating. And I wonder if that sand is just brown sugar. Here is another Stranger Things themed gingerbread house. This is supposed to be Vecna's house from Stranger Things. This one here is called Finding Out Who's Naughty or Nice. And it's very interesting if you look at it. It's actually Mrs. Claus reading tarot cards, trying to come up with a reading, I guess, to determine if people are nice or naughty. That's definitely creative. It's a gingerbread gumball machine. Both those are real gumballs. I think those are allowed. They are a food product. Here's a Day of the Dead themed gingerbread house. That very cool skull there on the top. Here's some gingerbread men enjoying the Mona Lisa. Here's the nice and naughty list made out of gingerbread. See that Bryce and Mary have been naughty. I wonder if that's like a personal dig. Here's a holiday version of the La Zoom Bus. La Zoom Bus is a attraction here in Asheville where they take you on a comedy tour on the bus. A really fun tour, actually. And it's cool to see it turned into a gingerbread structure. You can see a Mother Goose inspired gingerbread house. You got Humpty Dumpty there in front. There's Little Boy Blue passed out in the hay. And then I think that's Peter Pumpkin Eater. Had a wife who couldn't keep her. Then he stuck her in a pumpkin. You can see the little bear orchestra there. The walls of celebrities here, different celebrities that have stayed at the Grove Park. You got a lot of them. You got from Burt Reynolds to Michelle Obama to Andie MacDowell, Jennifer Lopez, even Macaulay Culkin has stayed here. Now this is not a gingerbread house. This is just a model of the Grove Park Inn. You can kind of get a good look of what it looks like. Definitely love the architecture here. Just very, very, very unique. Inside the Pink Pig here, we have a pink Christmas explosion. Look at all these cakes and trees. Oh, look at this. Look at this little green Santa here. Oh, there. Oh. Let's see if we can get us. Okay, he's waving now. Yay. And this monstrously terrifying pink nutcracker. Oh no, look who showed up here at the Grove Park. Potentially steal Christmas. It's the Grinch. Oh, you're a mean one. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Oh my goodness. Look at his dead eyes. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Take another peek here out on the back porch where you can see the city of Asheville illuminated in the distance. at all these gingerbread houses is making me hungry, so let's get us a gingerbread man from the giant gingerbread Grove Park Inn here. Here's actually a recipe for making your own giant gingerbread Grove Park Inn. 64 pounds of egg whites, 400 pounds of powdered sugar. So yes, after traversing the many halls of the Grove Park Inn, I decided to sit down and have a treat. I didn't get any hot chocolate. I don't normally like hot beverages at all, but I did get myself a little gingerbread man. I've been viewing gingerbread households that this man may have lived in, and yeah, I thought about it. I don't know the last time I've actually had just a straight up gingerbread man. So where do we start here? Do we start with his foot? Bite his foot off. Very gingery. When you think about the gingerbread, actually does have ginger in it. A little frosting. He's crunchy. See a little bite out of his head. It's weird eating a little man. Ah! Oh no. I think his life has ended as I bit off the top of his head. But I want to thank you guys for joining me here at the Grove Park Inn as we visit the gingerbread, see the competitors in the National Gingerbread Competition as we relax by the giant fire and enjoy our gingerbread man. Appreciate it. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the world. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun, random stuff. If you'd like to support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop, including the new Carpetbagger Fiji Merman pin. And all that goes to help keep this gingerbread train on the track, this gingerbread boat in the water, and this ginger dirigible in the air. Till next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.